back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. We're also streaming to you live on yorbamedia.com. All right, Nick Santiago from In the Money Stocks on the show with me today. Nick, welcome back.
Great to be back, Michael. Thank you for having me.
All right, my pleasure. Okay, Qualcomm, you want to start off with that one, right?
Yeah, I want to start off with Qualcomm because it's just another one of these major tech stocks that are getting hammered today. Qualcomm, apparently, as you all know, is one of the leading chip makers for cell phones and all sorts of mobile devices, and this stock is getting slaughtered today. Right now, I think the stock has some support down here, but the reason why I really brought it up is simply because the stock being hit so hard is telling us a little something, and it's telling us that these NASDAQ stocks and the NASDAQ growth is slowing down. I think that's something that traders should be aware of. And right now, if you look at it on a technical basis, I do think the stock will have some support around 61.50, and then it can trade right back down to around $60 and potentially much lower down to around $58.
Okay, all right. So you're looking to sell any rallies?
Sell any bounces on Qualcomm right now. You're not seeing any strength in the name, and this name is a barometer for what's taking place out there. I mean, you could just look at the Apple earnings; they were horrible. This stock makes product for just about every mobile device out there. And, if this isn't doing good, what is that telling us?
Yeah, well, I just pulled up the QQQs, and looks like we got a topping pattern here based on a candlestick formation. What's your thoughts?
Got a nice rollover today. I mean, considering we don't have a lot of volume there, I would feel much better about the volume. But either way, on the QQQ, if we go up to around 70.50, I think it's a stone cold short.
Okay, all right. What's the next one? LEN?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up Lennar because this was one that I talked about with you a few weeks ago when it was right at that high around $41, around $43.90, and I said to your listeners, I said, this is a short right here, and a lot of my members went short at that point, and I said, we're going to cover that trade around 37, and that's pretty much what we did. Now it's getting back up to that $42.50 range. I think traders that are aggressive can look to short Lennar here for trade back down to 37.
Okay, nice call. All right, FXE.
I want to talk a little bit about the FXE because this euro really can't get out of its own way, and you could look at the euro dollar as well. This is the same exact vehicle. I think this is on its way down towards the 124 level. Traders probably on any uptick, any bounce into the 130, maybe a little bit higher than 130 can sell this FXE, and it should cover the trade down around 124.
Okay, that's a pretty good move down to 124. All right. Are you seeing a longer-term pattern here with this, or is it we're just going to pertain to shorter-term trades on this FXE?
No, I think you have to pertain to shorter-term trading on the FXE and everything for that matter, because you just don't know what these crazy central bankers are going to do. It's all about the currency markets. That's what moves the equity markets. And right now we're seeing pretty good weakness in the euro. I don't really see a lot of strength in it at all. And I think, traders can just keep selling the upticks in this thing.
Okay. Well, speaking of crazy central bankers, I know they're not a central bank, but they certainly operate like one. Goldman Sachs, what's up with them?
Well, Goldman Sachs, as you know, put a big short call on gold about a week ago, and we had that big sell-off in gold. Since then, gold has bounced about 50%. So I just want to warn traders, don't pay too much attention to these guys when they speak. They've lost all credibility with me, if you ask. Going back and calling upgrading oil in 2008 when it was at 145 a barrel. It topped out at 147. So, again, be careful what you listen to out there. I know I've been getting flooded with emails, Michael, about, hey, Goldman Sachs said to short this or short that and go long this, go long that. Their track record isn't very, very good. In fact, if they were any good, they wouldn't have taken Apple off their conviction buy list when it got down below 500. So they would have took it off at 700. I just want people to know, follow the charts. Don't listen to all these talking heads in the media that are trying to get the small investor to make the wrong decision.
Well, a long time ago, this really older guy, when I was a really young guy, told me the people in the crowd that are consistently wrong are far more valuable to you than the ones that are right most of the time.
Absolutely.
So are we fading Goldman Sachs recommendations? What I'm saying?
Well, I just think that sometimes I just can't get over the amount of emails that I've received from people telling me, hey, I said, why do you even worry about what Goldman does? These are the same guys that were telling their clients to be long mortgage-backed securities, meanwhile they're shorting them. I mean, it just makes no sense to me.
All right, what's J.P. Morgan telling you these days?
Well, JPM now has had a pretty good bounce. We talked about that 46 level right on your show, and we got pretty much to that level. JPM got down to around 46.05. This is going to bump up into a ton of resistance here at $50 again. So JPM looks like it's somewhat in a range, but if you start to make lower highs, JPM is going to be in some trouble.
Okay, all right. So the banking complex near term, are you thinking that this is looking like a decent short across the board?
Well, I'm thinking we're close to it. We're not exactly there. I haven't pulled the trigger on it myself, but I'm going to tell you that I'm getting itchy to do it.
Okay, all right. S&P market, what's going on there as far as you're concerned?
Well, the S&P, we talked about that 153 area last week on your program, and we got down to around 153.55 on the spiders. Now the spiders have bounced up. I think the market looks very, very vulnerable. Any break below 153, on the spiders, though, is telling me hard sell to come.
Okay, and when you say hard sell, give us a number, give us an idea how far to fall.
Oh, I think we could fall down to around 141.
Okay, that's a pretty good move. Not too bad. All right, what happened in your trading room today? How'd things go?
We had a great day in the trading room so far. We had about 5 winning trades. It might have been more because my partner takes over at some in the early part of the day, and he's a wild man. He even calls out more trades than me. So we had a pretty good day in the market. A couple of trades that we had was Mellanox, Patterson Energy, Kroger for a dollar bounce. These are all just scalp trades. And also we have several swing trades working. Just yesterday, Michael, we had Panera Bread at the dead low. We missed the low. We caught it. It overshot our level by 10 pennies, and we caught it for $7 bounce.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, we got a few minutes left in the segment. We don't have to rush off right now. So let's talk bigger picture here. What do you see going on in the interest rate markets? Let's say the bonds, TLT, things of that nature. Anything else grabbing your attention?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought up the TLT because if you look at a bigger time frame, more like a weekly chart, I mean, you might want to take a look at that picture. But the TLT could be setting up for a move towards the 130 level. This may take a few more weeks to develop, but the pattern that's in there right now is a very, very nice basing pattern. And right now, the TLT is showing good strength on the weekly chart and even on the daily chart for that matter. So I'd like to just see this TLT go sideways here, and then I think in a few weeks we could pull a trade off probably up to that 130 level.
Okay. Now, we didn't talk about the metals. What do you think about that?
Well, the metals are getting a nice dead cat bounce right now. Yesterday and today, they're really catching a nice little bid. The industrial metal stocks like BHP Billiton, BHP, and Cleveland Cliffs is getting a nice short squeeze. Rio Tinto, a nice little pop today. Freeport McMoran, well, that's not doing so great. But Southern Copper is having a good day. But I don't think it's anything more than a dead cat bounce at this stage of the game. Okay,
and the copper market, how do you feel about that?
Well, copper, I think it's kind of in the same area. If you take a look at the JJC, we could also look at copper futures. We're upticking a little bit, and that could happen for a little bit longer. But overall, I don't see a whole lot of strength, but I do think that we have short-term support here.
Okay. All right. Short-term support on copper.
Short-term support on copper. That could last for another week or two. And then, we'll have to look. But right now we're getting a little bit of a bounce in copper, and if maybe it lasts another week or so. But then I think it bumps up against big resistance. If you're looking at the JJC, really around 43.75 is just a wall of resistance.
Okay. All right. Any other takeaway messages before we close out on the segment you want the audience to be aware of?
Yeah, I think this is one of the best trading markets we've ever had, both on the long and short side. So I think traders need to just study the charts. Don't listen to the talking heads so much on the television, that are talking up their book. Just use the charts and trade. This is one of the best trading markets I can remember. Great.
Web address and contact info for you?
Yeah, come on over to InTheMoneyStocks.com. We offer a 7-day free trial to our intraday stock chat. Also, take a 7-day free trial to our research center. You'll get all of our cycle work, all of our swing trades, and you'll get a nightly video explaining each and everything that we're seeing in the market.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Michael. Have a great day.
You too. Everybody, Nick Santiago, President and CEO, InTheMoneyStocks.com. You've seen him do this time and time again on the show. This guy knocks it out of the park every time. All right, coming up next,